Hey folks, Dan Bird with the Daily Scan for September the 4th, Thursday. Tomorrow is the jobs number. So that likely is going to make things very volatile. We'll see what happens. I think the expectation is that the unemployment rate is going to go to 4.3. That's probably true. If it goes higher than that, I think it's going to affect things negatively. But overall, I think 4.3 is probably priced in. So may not make too much difference. We'll find out. Still going to imply that the economy might be weakening. So we'll see. As always, I am not a financial advisor, so this is for educational purposes only. I'm going to try to stick with a standard format each day. So see if we can get through as much as we can, as quickly as we can. We'll start with the 10-minute charts and see what the market's doing so far. And we're up. So a little bit of a gap up, pull back a little, but now it's heading back higher again. Money flow, it looks really good. So money flow is way up there, but interestingly, technology is not doing that great, starting to go a little higher. Financials, pretty much flat. Discretionary started off strong, pulling back a little. Communications is pretty much holding the highs, and this is based on Google from yesterday. Industrials is down. If we look at the defensive sectors, healthcare down slightly, staples pulling back some, energy is flat, utilities pulling back quite a bit, and materials is pulling back. So it looks like the defensive sectors is not really where the money's going to, so that's good for a bullish move. And then the rotation charts, growth versus value is pretty flat. Discretionary starting to move back higher again. Technology is still down slightly. Semiconductors hasn't moved much off of these lows. But the internet is still staying very strong from yesterday, again, based on Google. And you can see for the Russell 2000 small and mid caps, it's starting to move back higher again after the sell-off yesterday. Basically, not really quite back to yesterday's high, but trying to make a comeback. Large cap, mid cap, and small cap growth versus value. The mid and small caps are still down slightly, and large caps is just basically going sideways. So it's not really telling us too much one way or the other. And then the NASDAQ 100 is starting to move higher. It's sitting right at the second Fibonacci resistance level. So that's the 61.8 levels just below that. So it could get rejected there and start to move lower. You can see the up volume is not really very impressive. And neither is advancers minus decliners. So there are advancers, but it's not significant. Even as the price makes a new high over here, the advancers are not making a new high. So this price move up here is going up without the benefit of additional advancers. So that's never something that you want to see. Let's go take a look at, I want to show you the government bond, Japanese bond that I talked about last week. It's continuing to go higher, 3.26 now. You can see it over here on the right-hand side. This is the highest that it's been all the way back to 2006. It may be higher than any time in history, but it continues to move higher. So I talked about, I actually have it on the website. If you click on this, you can see what it would mean if that goes to 4%. Basically means that money would be pulled out of U.S. assets and move into the Japanese bonds, and that would cause the market to decline if that were to happen. So we're not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. So 3.26, believe it or not, that's just look at the slope of the line of how it's moved up just since the middle of last year, basically over the last year, continuing to move higher. And then if we also look at Japanese actually spreads, we'll look at the spreads because this is going to tell us what that spread looks like. So the spread is tightening right here. If this continues to go down, that means that it's instead of the Japanese carry trade where they borrow money cheaply in Japan and they buy U.S. assets, then as this gets closer and closer down here to zero, it's not as attractive for them to do that. drew a support line across here from 2022. So that is, I think, the line in the sand that we should be looking at, and we're getting pretty close to that right now. So keep an eye on that one. You can notice up here how the Japanese 10-year has just really taken off. This is what I think is going to affect the market at some point that not too many people are really talking about. It might not be this year. It could be next year or the year after, but it's definitely something to watch for, because this could cause a significant and rapid redeployment of assets out of the US and back to Japan. So keep an eye on that. All right, next thing I want to show is the dashboard right here. So start with equities. Equities, the Dow is up, S&P 500 is up, NASDAQ 100 is up, so everything's looking good. VIX is down, so all of that is bullish. 10-year is down slightly, 20-year is up slightly, and US dollar is up today, actually quite a bit. And commodities, gold, pulling back some right now, but I think gold is going to probably continue its run higher. Silver's pulling back just like that. And oil is pulling back a little bit today as well. And crypto, Bitcoin pulling back, and this has kind of been a trend for Bitcoin, continuing to go lower. By the way, the ISM number today for manufacturing came in at 52. It's the first time it's been over 50 in, I think, almost 3 years. The longest period that it's been below 50 in history, I think. And it just now today reported over 50. So that is the beginning of expansion in the economy. And typically what happens is Bitcoin doesn't do much when it goes over 50, but altcoins do much better. So you can keep an eye on some of these altcoins that actually might do better, even if Bitcoin doesn't. So right now, Ethereum actually is heading down more, down 3.25% versus Bitcoin's 2%. All right, so keep an eye on that. We'll go down here and you can see discretionary is the top sector, but then financials and industrials right behind it. Discretionary is a aggressive sector. At the bottom is utilities, materials, and technology. Technology is an aggressive, quite a mixture. Technologies and staples. Staples is a defensive, technology is an aggressive. All of them are positive except for utilities and materials down at the bottom. And then Broadcom reports tomorrow. No, reports after the close today, I'm sorry. So we'll see what happens with Broadcom later today. Costco reports on the 25th. It's trying to make a comeback, actually. Costco looks interesting. And then down here, it's pretty interesting, the top 10 combined list. The number one stock right now is Snag. This was the number, this was the absolute last stock yesterday. Look at that bearish sell-off that it's been in for the last 2 weeks. And today it gets to the top of the list just from a little bump higher. So yesterday was the bottom of the list. Today is the top of the list. Credo Technology continues to move higher. It's looking pretty good. It's a spinning top candle today, so we'll have to be careful on that one. Affirm continuing to move up. ThreadUp starting to move up again. That one might be a good entry point. Reddit also looks like a good entry point for Reddit. A-Lab looks fantastic. Had a big move up, move sideways, and now it's starting to move higher again. So A-Lab is one definitely to keep an eye on. Hovnanian Home Builders. Let's look at the bottom. SoundHound, which was one of the short squeeze stocks a couple of days ago, last week. The bottom of the list. We have anything of note on here? Go one more down. Not too much on that list. All right, the next thing I want to do is to show you and this is something that we can do from stock charts. Let's take a look at the market carpets. It's something that I'll do each day as well. So this is the market carpet for today. On the right-hand side are the best performers for today. Amazon, you can see, is on the list. Amazon looks pretty good, moving up. Notice Amazon is dark green over here, so you can see the little chart. Amazon and Meta are the two outperformers today. Google pulling back now from a great run yesterday. Apple, same thing. Apple had a great run yesterday. But overall, it looks fairly bullish. Here's Broadcom that reports later tonight. Oracle has been just moving down steadily. So you can see industrials has most greens over here. And here's Eli Lilly. It's also light green. Here's the down here, the legend, if you want to figure out what that looks like. So that's just the 1 day change. Let's also take a look at the relative rotation graphs. And for this, I'm going to take a look at the S&P sectors. And you can see technology has been in the leading, is still in the leading quadrant, but just about getting ready to move into the weakening quadrant right now. These are weak. This is a weekly, so each one of these dots represents a week. Discretionary is the strongest of all of them, but everything right now is over here in the lagging quadrant, except for financials, or I'm sorry, that's industrials, which is getting ready to move over there. So that really does not look very bullish in general, especially with technology starting to fall off as well. So that's pretty interesting. I'll do this every day as well. And then finally, let's take a look at the scans and see what we have. This is the IBD bullish scan. There's just one came up here, AGX. But if we look at the IBD bearish side, see if there's anything there, nothing. So overall, the market is just sort of moving sideways, thrashing up and down today. Let's see if, let's go down here and look at the weekly options. We have 18 stocks. Amazon is on here. Getting a nice move on Amazon, ASML. In semiconductors, this one is trying to break out, just getting above the 21. HIMS starting to move higher, so HIMS might be bottoming out right here. IBM finally starting to move up, so a nice rounded bottom on IBM. So this could be a good entry, just moving above the 21 right there. That actually looks pretty interesting. Meta is on the list, moving higher, had a nice run earlier and now pulling back. Schwab looks pretty good, moving higher. And the Qs, of course, NASDAQ 100, they continue to look like they're moving higher. Zillow is on here as well. If we look at the bearish side, let's see what we get here. DraftKings is on the bears. Big red candle for DraftKings, now below the 21. So that one could be heading lower. Keep an eye on that. What else of note here? ServiceNow moving down as well. Can't get above its 50-day. PayPal, also big red candle for PayPal. Tilray, marijuana stock, rolling over now, had a nice run higher, sitting right on the 21. And then materials is the sector, actually has a hammer, so it may come back here at the end of the day. By the way, interesting to note that the end of the day yesterday, when I talked yesterday, I said that the market, so here's yesterday, the market was selling off, and I did my report right around here, right around 11. I said, watch the end of the day to see if this continues or not. And look what happened at the end of the day. Basically, the last hour, the market just started to move higher and never stopped. Just went all the way back up, not quite to the high of the day, but recovered most of these losses right here. So now the question is can it hold that? And so far today, it is holding it. So again, watch the close today. But if we stay up here, let's go back to the S&P, see the same thing. So there's the sell-off. And then right in basically the last half hour, just going straight higher. And we continue today going higher. Money flow looks great. So right now it looks very bullish. I think the 4.3% on the unemployment report is baked in already. So I think the only thing that could really have a big, huge impact is if it goes to 4.4. So we'll see how the market reacts. It's not so much the number itself, but it's the reaction to the number that's important. We'll see what happens tomorrow. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to take a look at. Be happy to do that. And I will talk to you later.